Yo guys, what's going on? It's DCroft here with my first ever video on acemadden.com. I am super excited to bring you guys this announcement that now there is coaching on acemadden.com. If you go to the website, you'll be able to see a new section that allows you to book a coaching session with anybody on acemadden.com. So what I'm going to be bringing you guys in this video, it is going to be a pretty lengthy video, but I'm going to break down what you guys are going to see on acemadden.com when you do book a coaching session with one of us. So the first coaching session option that you guys can choose is being able for us to watch your gameplay and be able to break it down and help you improve in whatever areas that you want us to help you improve in by watching your game. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this video, is breaking down my personal own gameplay of the Seattle Seahawks Club Championship game and breaking down all my thoughts, everything I had during this game, just like I would do for you guys if I was to watch your own game film. Now the other coaching option that we do have as well is where we actually go into a game with you and we'll play against you and be able to give you any of the advice that you need. So let me get into the game right now. So just a little background about this game. I'm in the U-Trips offense. It's in the Pats book. And this game was played back in November. So this game was played a while ago now. So a lot about the game has changed. But a lot of the same things are still in the game. So the first thing to notice is I do have a slot apprentice right here. This is going to allow me to, at any play, whenever I want, be able to put them on post routes, corner routes. I can put them on a double move, and I can also put them on a crossing route. So right off the bat, what I want to notice is how he's moving this safety right here. Now, when I see him moving the safety, I obviously know I have a deep fade on this receiver. So I'm automatically assuming right now that he's going to be in a cover 2 look. So with that, I go to one of my favorite cover 2 plays. I motion this guy across. Fairly simple read, just 2 quick out routes, and then I have a deep corner route as well. There you go. See nothing in the middle of the field, I hit left trigger, I just take off up the middle for an easy gain. Now, with second down, I just want to get the first down here. Simple draw. I knew I had something when I saw this 1-4-6 look every single time. If I was to call draw and actually slide my line to the left and ID that corner that I'm sliding to, I know draw will consistently work. Now again, same thing. I want you guys to notice every single time he is moving this safety out. So I know that he's going to be in a cover 2 shell basically this entire game if he keeps doing this. So I just go back to a similar play that I went to. ID him, block my running back because that's the guy I'm worried about blitzing, send 4 out. Very simple play here. Step up in the pocket, good pocket. Low point to Sammy Watkins. He gets a broken tackle, which is actually why I use Sammy Watkins on my team. I felt he was really good at those broken tackle animations. I really like Sammy Watkins because he was one of those bigger build receivers, and I felt like that was really beneficial to the way I played offense. Now, something I will note about this play as well is I actually do have Sammy Watkins in the wrong position here. I typically have him in the slot right here. But because I knew I was putting him on a drag, I decided to put Sammy Watkins out there because I knew he would have more run after the catch potential if I put him there. And obviously you guys can see the results he had. He was able to break that tackle with that high break tackle rating and then be able to get around. So really good drive so far. Noticing he's in cover 2 for the majority part. He's not really moving in this slot cornerback as well. So for the most part, I'm pretty comfortable sending out for the entire game. I'm going to start off blocking my running back just so I don't get behind the change. I do want to play this drive not really safe, but just start to get a feel for what he does want to do. So let's go forward now. Same thing here. I noticed the same look I like with draw. I know I have this look if I slide my line one way and ID this cornerback. I know that the draw is going to be an extremely successful play, as you can see here. I actually have really good run vision on this play. take it to the outside, and I'm able to turn it upfield and get an early 7. So right off the bat, for me, this is a perfect first drive. You get 7, it's fairly simple, and it's also fairly fast. Now, the aspect of my drive being fairly fast, I think, is a huge thing in Madden, because I have limited the amount of plays I've actually shown him so far. I believe at this point I have 2 passes and 2 runs. So my entire playbook is still basically open. He doesn't fully know what I am going to be running on a consistent basis. So really efficient first drive, very efficient, which I really liked. Kicking my point after, kickoff, here's the replay again. Simple draw, good run vision, turn it up. I did like Bo Jackson at this time because I was a fan of the bigger running backs and he would consistently fall forward for me. And now we get onto defense. Now, backstory about the defense as well. I had been lapping up this 3-3-5 defense that in my opinion was a really good job at keeping a quarterback within a pocket. When I had watched anybody in 818, which is his crew, in my opinion, I noticed they like to roll out fairly frequently, and that's how they would gain all their chunk plays. So in my mentality, I just wanted to get him in a game where he consistently had to work and gain all of his yards throughout the entire game and not just give up any of those big chunk plays. So this defense was really designed just to slow him down, which I think in the end was really efficient. As you guys can see, he only had 1 rush for 2 yards, and he wasn't really able to escape the pocket as well as I had previously watched him play. Now, he's obviously setting up some running formations here. I had just labbed up new run defense for this as well. So I was prepared for all these runs. Right off the bat, he comes off in far tight slot. Using my run defense, know exactly what I want, and then come off the edge as it should every single time. So right off the bat, already in a 2nd 11. That's a huge win for me. Obviously, now going to the gun bunch right here. Now, I didn't really know what to anticipate early in the game because I had never really seen him play against a 3-3-5 look. I had really only ever seen him play against 1-4-6, so I didn't really know how he was planning on to attack this defense. But for me personally, I think bunch is really, really good against cover 2. So my own game plan going into this game was a primarily cover 3 look. I just knew cover 3 took away a lot of big plays that he liked to use. And I also noticed that a lot of people would user this safety right here. And I didn't want him to be able to then call deep corner and attack this side of the field. So for the most part, and actually the entire game, I'm just going to be sitting on the middle linebacker. Not going to get cute trying using this guy because I noticed a lot of his big plays came while using this guy. Right off the bat, we send some pressure at him. We're able to come in. Something I want to know as well, you guys will probably see this again later, but I didn't really have respect for his tight end. As you guys can see, he does not have a good tight end. So I told myself I wasn't going to respect him until you made me actually respect him. Throwing to the flats is really, really bad this year, so I wasn't going to account that guy when I was playing defense because I wasn't really worried about anything. Now, 3rd and 16. This actually caught me off guard. I wasn't really anticipating him to go to tight formations that much. He actually hits me with this later in the game as well. I knew the one play he'd like to run from it, but I wasn't anticipating it this early. As you guys can see, there's the post and the cross. Good user by me on this play. Late read, makes the catch. Kind of a difficult catch, you know. Not lucky, obviously it's open, but it is a struggle play, that play. It's not the greatest play, kind of a broken play. I can live with how I've been playing defense so far. Think I've played good defense so far. Now, the next play he goes to is a run. I end up actually calling a timeout here because my corner is misaligned. As you guys can see, he calls a run. I still have the same run defense that no one had seen at this time before. Come around, shoot the gap just like I had practiced the night before. I was practicing that for hours because I was so scared of all the runs that were potentially able to beat me. And I did not want any of his runs to work against me. I wanted him to make all of his yards through the air. Now this next play, I knew when I saw him motion over the slot guy. Again, a little bit of backstory here. Joe Rice had just played in the Texans club about a week earlier, maybe a couple days earlier. So I was able to basically get a look of everything that 818 like to do in their bunch. I noticed basically every single time they like to motion this guy over, a 3-rec from my slot guy would play that receiver. And for me, anytime I saw him motion him over early in the game, I always told myself I was going to put a 3-rec. No matter what the rest of my defense looked on the field, I was so confident this route was going to be coming back over the middle of the field, I would always put a 3-rec. As you can see, I guess right, it's a slant with a deep crosser over the middle. Low point the slant, good play. If I shade down, it probably plays a little bit better there. But again, I can live with that. Only 6 yards. I can live with that. 3rd and 7. Now, this was a good play by him. Didn't anticipate a quick snap here, but he does quick snap me. He calls a very popular play in the gun bunch. Puts Randy Moss on a streak. I'm using a linebacker, can't get there. Again, it's kind of a bang-bang play, not a lucky play by any means, but it really could have gone either way. I've seen players drop that pass before. So, good play by him, nonetheless. So now on a 1st down, he goes to a play. I'm not exactly sure what he was seeing. Something I will mention, I did have the 2 best cornerbacks in the game, in my opinion. So my anticipation of why he ran this play is he was noticing I was manning up his solo guy a lot. So I assumed he wanted to see if this guy would be in a flat like I was putting him in, or I have done before, and hoping to sneak a streak down the field. I wasn't in that defense though this play. I was in a cover 2 shell. As you can see, I'm not respecting his tight end though. I did bring that up earlier in this video. I wasn't going to respect the tight end until he made me respect it. So even that, I'm okay with. I feel like he's a bit late with his read there, and I can live with that. Now, end of 1st quarter. We each have had 1 drive so far. Games do typically go by pretty fast in Madden. So being able to make in-game adjustments, you have to be able to register way faster, I feel like, in this year's Madden than previous Maddens. Now, this was another play I was actually prepared for. Let me see if I can get that play art for you guys on stream. It is the deep attack play. I'd seen Joe Rice run this play quite frequently on stream, so I was anticipating, as I miss it again, I was anticipating this play quite a bit on stream. So it's going to be a deep post by Dante Hall, and I know I can always man up the solo guy because I have the speed advantage, and I also have the press/release advantage. It's going to just be a deep post by him. It's going to be a drag over the middle, an out route by Randy Moss, and then it's going to be the corner route specialist from the slot, a little corner like this. So I was fairly ready for this play. Drag, lurk it, and then go back to the post, up over, send the spy, throws it away. Good defense by me again. Feel like I've played pretty good defense so far on this drive. Now this play was another play that did confuse me quite a bit. I feel like this is just part of the feel out process though, that most players do go on their 1st drive. He does motion over what is a crossing route, then has a deep in with a hitch. So for me, I just want to keep him, limit the big play, stay with the cross, then come down. Good lurk. He hits the playmaker hitch, gains a yard. It doesn't even matter that he does end up gaining a yard. He's in field goal range from the 37 or the 36, and he kicks 3. So for me, I feel really good so far. I just held him to 3 early in the game. I've got 7 on my 1st drive, and I feel like I haven't shown him that much. And I felt like he just had to show me quite a bit on that drive. So for me, I take this as a win so far. I feel like it was a successful 1st drive for me, both offensively and defensively. Come out in field goal safe. I do almost always come out in field goal safe, just because I don't really feel like I get that lucky with block kicks, and I just want to prevent anything crazy from happening. Return up into the 26. Something I will note too, you will always notice me return kickoffs. The reason why I love to return kickoffs is I love being on a hash. I hate being on the middle of the field, which does happen whenever you take a touchback, because I just don't lab plays in the middle of the field. I always lab plays on a specific hash mark. So whenever I get the chance to return a kick, even if I lose 5-8 yards, I will always return kicks. Now, we're going to keep showing him similar looks that I did on my first drive. Simple play here again. Hit my out route. Turn upfield. Again, Sammy, the monster he is. I want him in those positions to be able to break tackles. And Sammy, in my opinion, is just such a good player at breaking tackles. And I really love that in my slot receiver in this offense. So this play, I try to hit him with a quick draw. Again, he does get a shed there from Clowney. Now, I am in a 3rd and 1, excuse me, and I do feel like I need to pass the ball here. Now, for me mentally, I'm thinking I've shown him quite a bit of looks whenever I've motioned my receiver over. So I didn't want to motion him over again here because I was worried he was going to start picking up on this and start making adjustments to that. So I decided to hit him with a different play here that, again, it was a fairly simple, quick read play. It's one of my favorite plays from U-Trips in this game. As you can see my hitch open, just hit a quick hitch, possession catch, gain my first down, simple. Now, this next play, even though it's a run play, is actually a really big play because I noticed something in the defense that I hadn't noticed throughout the entire game, and I noticed I would be able to target on this play. Now, obviously, I'm assuming he's in a cover 2 shell again here as well. I try to bounce this to the outside, and I don't get it. But I want you to notice what I see from his cornerbacks. I notice here he's blitzing. So he's blitzing this guy here, and blitzing here. I also notice this dude is consistently in a soft squat as well. I also notice his safety comes down as well as his cornerback goes to the flat. So I know now that he has made an adjustment to essentially my quick out route plays, which means the next play I decide to go to my post because I know that this 10 cap player will not be able to play the post over the middle. So that is something to notice there. Because I see that little adjustment, I then decide to go to this play of being able to attack this part of the field which I wanted to, because I knew with his user he would have to play back here. So as you can see, I'm going to motion him in with a quick out route, a post over the middle. In attacking the space of the field, I noticed that is open. I'm also going to block my running back because I noticed he was blitzing off this edge now. As you can see, he made the same adjustments again. I call the perfect play. I'm able to get a huge run after the catch and be able to score a touchdown. Now, I'm feeling really good. 2 for 2 on drives. Again, quick drives though. I haven't even felt like I've shown that much to him. So up 14-3. And the way Madden plays this year, I felt like I wasn't going to end up getting the ball back as well, so I just wanted to hold him to 3 on his next drive, and going up 8 in the second half, even without the ball, I would still personally consider that a win for me so far. For me as well, I just always sky kick to the fullback. I get too scared of returns whenever you kick it deep. Sky kick to the fullback, try to hit stick him, just make a tackle. Here's the play again, noticing that he does have 2 flats over there, attacking the space of the field that I know will be open. So, getting into his next drive here as well. Let's wait for the highlight to go away. Here we go. It's another, it's deep attack again. Again, a play that I was anticipating him to call quite a bit. It's a very good play. You have your quick first read. You have the post over the middle that yellows don't play very well. Then you have that deep corner route that from the slot guy that plays it really well. Now this is the play I realized he was able to start figuring out what I was liking in my defense, because he goes back to a play the next down, which is actually the play I was not terrified, but knew if he found this play, I would have to play defense significantly different. So as you can see here, he's calling mesh spot again, or excuse me, mesh post here. He's calling, and I get really lucky with Fletcher making a play here. That is another thing. I did have a power specialist at D-tackle. A lot of what this defense was isolating my D-tackle one-on-one. So he was able to get kind of an insane play here and essentially blow up the play himself, which does happen a lot when you have these power specialists at defensive tackle. So as you can see, he runs this wheel play right here, and he realizes I have to user that wheel myself. Now, he goes to a really good play here, and this is where he calls mesh spot. And essentially what it is is he has two wheel routes that are going to be open on the play, and he forces my user to choose one. I go with the tight end wheel this time instead of the running back wheel, and he notices he has the running back wheel wide open. And now he runs the same play again here. Actually, he will just go right to that play, call that same play again, and it was that moment in my mind that it clicked. He found that play, and I knew later on in the game I had to register that play on big downs, because I feel like going to that play back-to-back times and having success with it, it almost comes your money play. Even though this isn't probably the most popular play in Bunch, it's the play he's had the most success with on a consistent basis with the best read. So, with that being said, as you guys can see, he goes back to the exact same play again here again. Really good play by him. I'm forced to pick one. I choose the tight end wheel again. Running back is just wide open. Now, he does go to I form here. He calls a different run. I think he's just trying to see if I know how to blow up this run here. I don't know if he's playing for 3 here. I'm okay with him coming out in I form with this amount of time, though. No issues with that at all. I feel like he's just almost clocking himself now. Comes out in I form, and he actually does have success on this run. I didn't set up my defense fast enough, honestly. I thought it was a different run, and this is on me. As you guys can see, I actually swat, and I get a really fortunate click on that. I get on that guy, and I just immediately start running back. Because as I said, I just wanted to limit him getting free points with those runs. So I didn't even care that he was gaining yards. I just told myself, don't let him score. So I click onto that corner and I just run back immediately to prevent him from getting that free score. He takes a timeout there as well. And then he goes back to this tight formation and calls the same play again. I use the crosser, which I really should have done again later in the game, as you guys will see. But yeah, as you guys can see, good play by him. Kind of a delay route again, or a second play there. And I'm just here trying to make him continue to work for this. As you can see, huge runoff there. Now, this, in my opinion, was one of the play of the games. And I'm not really mad that it was an incompletion, but for me, I literally had just heard that they were starting to call verticals in the red zone because you wouldn't get the pressure and accurate wheel in the red zone. So the moment I saw verticals and I realized I was in cover 2, I was terrified that he was going to have this open, wide open right here. So as you can see with my user, I just immediately bailed to that position. I didn't think this crosser would be as wide open as it was, and I do feel like he misses his read. Like, it is open right now. And as you guys can see, I'm essentially bailing on this, and I feel like if he did end up throwing it, I actually would have intercepted this. But he does have this wide open, but I feel like he misses his read a bit late. As you can see, it looks like a 50-50 ball right now between Polamalu and his receiver, Torrey Holt. As you can see, bang bang play goes off of both of our hands right into the hands of Randy Moss. Now, my mindset right now when I see this is I'm actually having flashbacks to last year's club championship. For those that don't know, I did play in the same exact position as last year, and he had a crazy catch as last year as well with Randy Moss. So I was almost thinking like, wow, like he just got that again. But for me, I just knew I still had total control of the game. I stayed calm and I stayed composed, which was a huge thing throughout this entire game, was staying calm and composed, and was really, really successful. Really, really vital to my success. So right now, obviously, I still have a 4-point lead. Not that frustrated. I can live with that. Even with him getting ball at half, 4-point lead, I can live with it. I feel like I've still played a very good half, and I feel like I've learned more about his game than he has learned about my game so far. So, this drive right here, something I do want to note as well. The way Madden works this year, and for you guys that are playing, I would strongly recommend playing this situation very passive as well. The reason behind it is I feel like your chances of getting 3 in this situation are so unlikely. Just how hard it is to move the ball downfield at a high pace in this game. I do think playing this situation passive for me was the right decision. As you guys can see here, I do some audibling around before I end up deciding to run the ball here. And essentially, I'm just trying to take this to half at this point. I try a little motion here on this run to pick up the inside guy, see if I can get the edge. Didn't end up getting the edge. I take a timeout. I don't really know why I took a timeout. I really just was planning on running the ball again. And then I decided to end up passing here This was actually probably a pretty bad mistake by me. I probably should have just ran the ball again there. I go out of bounds. Doesn't really matter in this situation that I do end up going out of bounds because there is so little time left. But I should have just ran the ball again here. I end up deciding just to cut my losses here and run the ball again here. Quick little draw, see if I can have success with it. Don't end up having success with it. He takes a timeout with 3 seconds left. For me, just punt it out of bounds, get to half over, you're up 4, you can live with that. So let's get into the next half here. Kickoff return to the 33. And now this was pretty fortunate on my part. This easily could have been a touchdown run. He goes to the halfback solo package. And anytime he goes to this package, more often than not, it is going to be the halfback sweep. And he does have quite a big lane here. Now, I didn't know how this really worked because whenever I had sweep was ran against me with 3-3-5, it didn't really have success like that. So when I saw him in the open field, I got pretty nervous here. Luckily, though, his guy just runs into him and we're able to make the tackle. I don't know if it would have been a touchdown or if one of my guys would have been able to chase him down. Is what it is, though. It happens. It's Madden. I felt like I kind of just got unlucky at the end of half, so don't really feel bad. Now, he's going to go back to the exact same play that he's been going to, which is mesh spot. Now, the adjustment I knew I had to make is this wheel route from the running back is a really, really effective route. And I knew the only way I felt comfortable in stopping it, honestly, was just to cross-man him with this linebacker. And it's a big reason why I actually like the 3-3-5 defense to defend against bunch. So I just basically, for the rest of the game, start cross-manning this dude. As you can see on this play, he runs the exact same play, and I know I don't have to worry about the running back anymore. I go to this side of the field to lurk both of those routes, and he does get an intentional rounding call here. As you can see, Fletch does create, he doesn't get the sack, but he does enough to create havoc in the middle. Our contains are so wide, we're able to keep him in the pocket. And for me, 2nd and 26, that's huge for me. We're able to get him into a really tough down and distance right now. So for me, that's a huge first down play. Like really, really big first down play. You can see him mess around with the halfback solo stuff, seeing if he should call a sweep again. He ends up deciding to take off that package, and he goes to wide receiver post here. Again, same thing. I saw him motion over. I went to the 3 rec, as I always do when I see him motion over that receiver. We end up having 2 spies as well. The reason behind that is because I am manning up the running back almost every single play. So when he doesn't send out the running back, the other guy just will act as a spy. And as you guys can see, again, Fletch honestly basically took over this drive. And to have Fletch do this was huge for me because I knew he was able to do this on a consistent basis. When I was labbing up this power specialist ability, he would consistently just take over games. So to have him be able in a big game like this actually do what I knew he should be able to do was really big to me. Now same thing here. I see he has Dante Hall in the backfield. I'm automatically thinking sweep. Played a bit different this time. Able to get the stop, and I get a turnover. To me, I know a lot of people are going to be thinking this isn't a turnover, it's a punt. But to me, the way Madden plays, if you get a punt, to me that's a turnover. Even if you flip field positions, whenever you get a punt, I really do feel like that's a turnover in Madden. So for me, this is huge for me. Now I feel like I'm back in full control of the game. And the way the runoff works, I know there aren't many drives left in this game. So you go with the punt by him. It's a pretty good punt by him. Down to the 20. Doesn't get out of bounds though, so we are able to return it up until about the 33. And with this drive, I just go right back to draw on my first play. I probably should have called a pass play there. That is something I do kind of regret a little bit because I wasn't having issues moving the ball through the air. But I kept running the ball, and I felt like I should have just been more trusting in my passing game. Not more trusting, but I should have just stick with my passing game instead. Because the run really wasn't working for the most part, and I was having success whenever I did go to the air. I did only miss 1 pass throughout this entire game, and I believe I got sacked once. So I was having a ton of success whenever I was going through the air. So I probably should have tried to stop running a bit earlier. That is something I do look back and wish I had changed personally. Now for me, I'm honestly noticing the same defense from him again. And I know that I'm just going to attack this same part of the field. Now for me, I just give him a different look though. That's a big thing, is I'm not going to run the same play. I'm just going to give him a different look. So we're going to streak this guy to occupy his user. Then we're going to have a deep post from this guy to also occupy his user. And I know his user won't be able to get back in time to play this post. And then I also have this out route from him just to occupy the outside corner. As you guys can see, step up in the pocket, right there, perfect, open dot. Now, part of the reason why I don't end up regretting running the ball was for the exact situation like this. I actually pop this run off and I do get into field goal range. Now, for someone who likes to think they have really good stick work in Madden, this was a really, really bad run from my part. And I'll show you guys why it was and what I would actually do differently here if I could go back into this moment. Obviously, we're setting up the run here. Draw. Now, look at this. I am one-on-one with Brandon Wilson, and I have all this space. Now, granted, it's probably not going to be a touchdown, and he'll probably just end up being able to force me out of the bounds at the minimum. This is a 22 cap player that I should just be able to run through. So for me, personally, I probably should have just kept running to the outside, and I try to get Q, and I try to cut it back inside, as you guys can see right here. Shouldn't have done that. Should have just kept running outside. Probably would have been at the 29, or excuse me, probably like the 20-yard line, 20 to 25-yard line. But regardless, good run, and I know I'm in field goal range now, so I know at the minimum I'm getting 3, and I feel like I'm up 7 right now at the bare minimum. Now, this is where he actually switches defenses. He goes to 3-4 odd, and I feel like it's because I'm now having success with the run. He just doesn't want me to continue to run. And of course, this is where I really regret running. I don't know why I was calling these runs. They were really boom or bust with this type of run. 5-6 power against 3-4. It was either a touchdown like 1 out of every 4 times, or that would happen the other 3 times. It wasn't consistent enough to the point where I feel like I should have gone to it in a tournament setting. Now, something I felt like I did pretty bad as well here that I would go back and improve myself on is I don't feel like I called very good plays against 3-4 odd. I felt like I was almost stuck in a mindset that I felt like I was still playing against 1-4-6. I do wish, looking back, I would change my plays a bit differently here to just attack different spaces of the field. But it is what it is. I was still able to pull it out. But this is one part of the game where I would tell myself in a situation like this, I wish what I had ended up doing was putting this guy on a drag more instead of the curl. And I also wish I wouldn't motion this guy over as much. I wish I would just clear him out and then put this guy on a drag and then put this guy on a curl. That would probably be the biggest adjustment I would do if I went back. The reason why I did motion him across there was due to the fact I noticed he was touching these safeties. So my initial thought was, if I motion him across, I know I'm going to have a two-on-one out there, so I'm going to have one of those players open. But because I didn't have identifier at this time, I didn't actually know which guy he was going to be lurking on. So when he was lurking on this guy, it was pretty easy for him to take away these 2 players out here, only with 2 guys himself. Have a pretty good pocket there. I hit left trigger and am able to get out. Big reason why I didn't use Escape Artist is because I felt really comfortable with this left trigger feature and being able to get outside of the pocket. Now, this is another very big play in the game. And looking back, I probably should have been more aggressive in this situation too. I'm not having trouble moving the ball through the air. I'm just not having really any trouble moving the ball through the air. But I do want to bring up one thing, is when I was playing this game, I don't know why, but sometimes my A button wouldn't register. And it was really frustrating me because I don't know, it happened 2 or 3 times throughout the times I was playing. And it was really frustrating me. And I want to say I was scared to kick a field goal, but it definitely was like, it was in the back of my head. So for me, I was thinking, okay, if I take this down to under 40 seconds, I have 2 shots at a field goal. Which basically mean I wasn't missing 2 field goals. Because what I could do is, if I missed the first field goal, I could just hold it down and take it to the next quarter. And by doing that, it wouldn't actually kick the ball, and then I could just go to the next quarter and re-kick. So it wasn't really that big of a deal for me. But the only way I could do this was if I kept the clock running. And the only way I felt confident, well, no, the only way to guarantee myself the clock to keep running would be able just to run the ball with Bo Jackson. Now, I don't know, looking back in this situation, I probably should have passed here, but I understand why I did go with the run instead. So as you guys can see, I take this clock down pretty low for the most part. I'm going through my head debating. I'm kind of bluffing a pass right now, honestly, trying to have him set up some pass defense. I am able to get to the outside, and I do wonder if Sammy Watkins is able to get this block if this is going to be a touchdown, because I do end up actually blocking him on this play, and if he isn't able to shoot there, I think I might have a touchdown. But regardless, I get 3 points from this drive. I'm up 7 with 1/4 left to go, and the way Madden plays, I really feel like his next drive really could be his last possession of the game. So I just feel like I played good defense so far. His first 7 was kind of fluky in my opinion. Definitely kind of fluky in my opinion. And for me, I just felt confident in my defense at this point of time of being able to hold him. So as we continue, he goes to deep corner again, deep attack again here. Good play, sideline, trying to hit stick him, not able to make a play. Good play by him there. Now this is actually the only time he broke contain, which made me feel really good, like watching this game back, realizing how good this defense was. He breaks the sack and then breaks contain, gains 2 yards, and that ends up being his only rush of the game, 3 yards. He ends up gaining on that play. So now, next play here, I believe he goes back to deep attack. And now for me, I feel like I actually had a really good user on this play. I'm able to take away this corner route as well as this post route with just my user. What I do is I just start bumping this corner route with my user so the timing is thrown off, and then I just cut back to this post route. And this is actually a defining play of the game, was my user on this play, because he does end up actually throwing an interception on the next play. And his drive would have been a lot different if he was able to hang on to this catch. Obviously, he gets stuck in the diving catch animation, really popular animation this year. You really don't see him drop it that much, but my user is right there, and I am able to undercut him. So I am able to make a play there. And I felt like my user on that play, I'll show you guys this one more time, I'm able to take away his 2 key routes on this play. Now, I haven't really brought this up that much, but a lot of what I was doing in this game was I essentially, in my opinion, had 4 really good DBs. Here we go. I had Darius Slay, that would mainly be my strong safety, Polamalu my free safety, Denzel Ward, and Patrick Peterson. So in my opinion, I had 4 really good corners. But what I would do is they were never playing in specific positions. I would be subbing them around all the time. Now in my head, I'm thinking 3rd and 7, what's been his go-to play? Mesh spot. So I'm not joking. I made adjustments for 1 play and 1 play only. I was selling out that mesh spot would be his play. No matter what it was going to be mesh spot. With the exception is I did decide to put a deep blue on the field instead of a clown flat, just because I was worried about verticals and I didn't want to give him a free 7. So what I actually do on this play is I have Denzel Ward in my slot manned up on Pruitt. I have him in a cloud, deep blue right here, and then I have my other linebacker cross-manned onto TJ Logan, and then I'm going to be using this Torrey Holt route. I am selling out for this play. 100% I am selling out for this specific play. And as you guys can see right here, I'm able to get an interception on this play. This play really was a huge play of the game, because at this point I felt like I should be able to get 3 fairly easily. I'm at the 50-yard line. I feel like ideally I only need 13 yards. I'm probably looking at trying to end this game and get 15-ish, or a couple of first downs, excuse me. And here we go again. I go back to the power. I saw that I felt like I had power the last play I ran it. I go back to the power, it gets blown up. Shouldn't have called it, really bad by me. I really should have just taken that play out. Now this play frustrates me a lot watching back, because I felt like if I was to lose this game, this would be one of the defining plays where I felt like I had won the game on this play, but I had messed up. Now, I had noticed throughout the entire time he was in 4-3, and even when he was in 1-4-6, he would consistently soft squat this guy. Now, the soft squat is a great adjustment, because if he puts him on a streak, the soft squat will just stay with him. That's his assignment. But if I put a flat here, the soft squat's going to come down, which means that I'm going to have my streak wide open. And I'm assuming, because he hasn't seen this, he's not going to be using it, and he'll just be assuming that he'll be manned up here and here. But instead, because I have a flat, the soft squat's going to be coming down here. But for me to be able to put him on a route, I need to block this guy right here. So my play right here is, I'm really just taking a shot here. As you guys can see, we have the flat here, we have a drag here to intend to pull his user down here, and then because the flat's here, if he is soft squatting here, I will have a touchdown. Now, I also want to notice, because I ended up realizing this on this play as well, that he was pressing this guy a lot, because I realized later in the game I could put this guy on a streak and be able to win the game. But for this play right here, I am trying to attack this corner. Now, the error I do make here myself is I mess up the motion block. My controller, it didn't snap. I messed up the motion block. I really should have taken a timeout here. Right here, I should have taken a timeout once I realized it didn't work. I knew I was getting screamed at, and I just threw my flat. Really bad play by me looking at it again. I wish I had just taken my timeout. As you guys can actually see, my streak is going to be wide open. Watch my streak, and it is wide open if I block over here. Really frustrating on my part, because his user, watch where his user is. He's coming back around with the drag, as I had anticipated him to do. And I would have been able to pass my streak essentially right here. As you can see, though, I'm under pretty heavy pressure, so not able to make it work, sadly. Now, again, another really bad play by me. This was sort of my comfort play, to say the least. I love running this play. It's essentially Pat Sale. I don't know why. If I streak him and put him on a curl, I have one of them. I should have motioned this guy out, have him on a backside post as well for a low point option, and then streak him, curl him. One of these routes are going to be open, and if somehow one of them isn't open, I'm going to have my backside post on a low point. Really bad play by me. This is a play that I look back, and I wish, like, looking back, I would have called something different. Nonetheless, though, I do end up punting after this play, so it is what it is. I take the sack just to keep the clock running, take it to the 2-minute warning, and then we get into this next part, and I will talk about it for here a second. It is the delay of the game. I don't know if you guys were watching this live. The line actually doesn't change. What it ends up doing is, there was a bug in the game at the time where if you were to catch the ball while going out of bounds, the ball would incorrectly go to the incorrect position. Now, for me, this was frustrating, because I tried to obviously keep my composure throughout this situation, which I did, but we basically had to restart the game at this point. And you're about to see me just fly through basically half an hour of where we're literally just there sitting, resetting the game. And for me, I felt like this gave one of the best players in the world all this time to be able to think of essentially his next drive. And I feel like his next drive, it could have potentially been very different if he didn't have this time to think. I saw he ran spread on the first play, which you guys will see, which I literally had not seen that the entire game. So it was frustrating nonetheless. I felt like it did give him time to plan his next drive. But for me too, it gave me time to play myself. So I need to be better in myself and being able to prepare for this situation. So as I said, I'm just going to fly through here. It's about 3:06 where I believe we begin playing again. And as you guys can see, I went a bit further, but as you guys can see, right off the bat, he moved down the field with ease against me. He went to 2 really good plays. He went to spread, and these were 2 really good plays as well. These were 2 plays that I look back and I say these were really good plays to call. Verticals, he attacks the seam. He's able to get over the yellow. hits right in between, and then he calls hurry up as well. So it's literally, for me, it's bang bang. I don't even have time to set up my defense on this play. I should have continued to use the deep crosser as well instead of the post, because the post just really wasn't getting open. Able to make a tackle though. So for me, mentally, I'm thinking, okay, at least he hasn't scored yet. Like, he didn't get a quick score, and I'm making him work. So I still feel really good about winning this situation. To the point, I actually feel so good about winning this situation, I don't end up taking my timeouts, which I will explain here in a second. But now, I also do notice he has Dante Hall at running back, and I was kind of thinking sweep on this play, and I noticed that during this intermission that he actually made this adjustment to put Dante Hall there to have him run the wheel route instead of TJ Logan. It was kind of a tell in some ways. I kind of knew whenever he was there, I was pretty confident he was always going to be running the wheel route and nothing else. But as you guys can see right here, he throws this late, and it's a 50-50 read. Really could have gone either way. Is what it is, though. Still got to make a stop. Now, this play was a really bad user by me, and I'll explain my thought process and why my user did what it did. Anytime I had seen a corner route from this receiver, it was always a backside post. That's just always what it was. It was always a backside post. So for me, I was going back just to lurk the backside post. But for whatever reason on this play, he, let me show you guys this play art. He just doesn't have a backside post. He just has an out route here. And really the only thing that can even get open on this play is the post. So for me, I'm already thinking about lurking this backside post in this area. Then I realized too late, that's literally all he has right there. He's able to get there. And the reason why I don't take my timeouts is, the first reason is I felt like I was getting a stop. I really felt like I was just getting a stop in this situation. The second reason why I didn't take my timeouts was due to the fact the way runoff works in this game. I felt like if I got the ball back, I would already be playing this situation pretty passive, due to the fact that it's so hard to move the ball down this game, at least the way I played offense, quickly. So I didn't really feel like, for me, I wanted to make this the game. Like, this was either going to win you the game or lose you the game, because I felt like in this situation, I was going to win. So right off the bat, he goes back to Dante Hall, and this time he calls draw instead of sweep. Gets down to the 4, takes time off. Good decision by him to take time off. He goes to the near far dive, able to get down to the 2 there. I don't know why my guy didn't shoot in there. I was kind of mentally thinking if there was anything I should have done differently there. I felt like whenever I had labbed it, my guy was always just shooting the gap in free every single time. So for me, I'm honestly thinking he's going to go to the exact same play. And for me, I'm almost okay with this, because I'm pretty confident that my guy, one of these guys, will just come in shooting wide open and free. As you guys can see, he does. Comes in shooting free as I thought he would. And now this game is coming down to one final play from the 4. And for me, again, I felt like this was benefited my situation. Now, something he did here was he put Dante Hall back in the backfield as well. So I was automatically assuming the wheel route. I took a timeout here just to kind of think this over again after seeing Dante Hall in the backfield. As you can see, Dante Hall in the backfield. I know he's going to be manned up here. And then I'm assuming this part of the field is mine for any of the quick posts, because I knew they really liked, oops, let me not unmute, there we go. I knew they liked the quick post here. So that was basically my part to defend. I knew I had a cloud flat out there as well, and I wasn't really worried about the tight end. I feel like I played perfect defense. I send the spy too soon, and this is something that I have no idea what Brian Burns did here. He just stopped running. And you may not think that's a huge thing, but for me, instead of being able to then click on to this guy, I had to wait longer to click on to him because the positioning Brian Burns was in. Because I couldn't just click on to him there, because now I feel like I'm going to be clicked on to, I don't even know who. I guess I get clicked on to, I don't know who that is. I think that's Savage I end up getting clicked on to. And I just feel like if he wasn't in that contain, I would be able to click on to somebody much, much faster. I try clicking on to him. By the time I'm able to click on to him, he does end up getting into the end zone. Now, for me, I'm really frustrated in this situation, obviously. I felt like I played a really good game so far. But the game's going to overtime. The game's not over, and I still know that, and I know mentally that I can still easily win the game. Now, part of the composure too is I knew I had a timeout left, and I knew I was going to ice him, so I ended up icing this kick, trying to give myself just another opportunity to win the game. He makes the kick right down the middle. Now we go into overtime. Now, even though I feel like I've played really, really good defense this game, I have a simple rule. I'll also give you guys a little secret here of why I call heads or tails. In my opinion, I always call tails whenever it's a sweaty game, and I always call heads when I think I should win the game easily. That's just my philosophy on why I call heads or tails. He does end up selecting heads though, and it is tails. So for me, works out. And for me, no matter of how good of defense I am playing throughout a game or what the game is going, I want the ball in my hands no matter if the score is 0-0, 3-3, 2-2, whatever it may be. I want the ball in my hands to win the game on a single drive. That is always going to be my philosophy. I want the ball in my hands to be able to win the game because I feel like the offensive player I am, I should be able for one drive to be able to put it together and win the game every single time, which we end up doing in this game, thankfully. Here we go though, pooch kick. Play back again, don't want to watch it. This is, again, really bad play by me. I noticed every single time he was in this defense, he was just sending 7. He would never play coverage out of it. So I go to one of my favorite 5-out plays. I should have called a different play. What I should have done in this play, actually, was I should have, let me go back here. I had another really good 5-out play, which was curl flat, and I would just quick snap him here, and then I would basically just have either one of my flats wide open. I go to this play instead. Bad play by me nonetheless. Definitely should have gone to the curl flat play instead. And it was also at this moment too as well. I told myself I wasn't going to send 5-out anymore. It wasn't that I didn't feel comfortable sending 5-out. It's just that I knew I was going to be able to have a success sending 4-out. Or excuse me, 3-out. Now this play, I notice every single time he is putting him in a deep blue. So I just put this guy on a curl. I don't really think this is lucky whatsoever. I really don't. We get good blocking there. Put him on a curl, stop, right to his hands. That's something I've honestly done basically throughout the entire year wherever I've seen this type of defense. And this is where I really start to make the key adjustment of this game. Now, for those of you that don't know, you obviously have seen him on the videos before. This was a play Civil told me was the play I needed to run against Send 7 defenses. He told me this was one of the best plays in the game and I needed to run it. And for me, I finally clicked in my head just to run this play. I don't know why I was getting cute trying all these other things. I just went back to the basics, which in these high pressure situations, you can typically try to get too cute, honestly. So I just went back to the basics here. Very, very simple. I stopped overthinking it and I put my best play against the blitz in the game. I have a quick drag over the middle, I have a deep post, and then I have a wheel route. It's really hard for the user to guard both. More often than not, one of them is open, and then I also have this wheel that can get open too. Hit my drag across the middle, first down, boom, like that. Mentally, I'm going back to the exact same play right here. Now, something that does really, really frustrate me about this game is deep route running. This route is supposed to run fast over the middle, and I should have won this game on this play if my dude just runs his route right. But for whatever reason, sometimes, I know obviously stamina can affect the deep route running routes, but for whatever reason, he just decided not to run his route at the correct pace I wanted him to run at. So I motion him back in, and I'm anticipating to run deep down the field. He gets stuck on the D tackle. I know I have him over the middle. As you guys can see, he does choppy steps though. He doesn't do the fast animation like I want him to. As you can see from my reaction, I'm upset by that. But I also told myself just keep my composure, because it kind of clicked to me too. He was playing really aggressive defense, and I told myself in this situation, 2nd and 10, you have a play to win the game here. This is a play that could win you the game. You're in the 2nd and 10. I still feel confident with 2 more downs, I can still easily get the first down. So for me, I originally had a curl there on the outside guy, as you will see. Then I realized, I feel like if I put one of these guys on streaks, have a deep post over the middle, I will win the game. As you guys can see, I get super aggressive in this situation. I stop playing conservative. I say, I want to win this game. With the adjustment, I see the press 3rd, which I knew I had earlier. I did panic pump fake. I'm not going to lie. I hit B twice. because I knew I had him for the moment, and then I hit B twice. In this moment, I had no idea what to do, honestly, after he pump faked. I honestly thought the ball was already gone. You'll see my face reaction. I had no idea what was happening. As you guys can see, by the way, I did have both of my streaks wide open, and I would have had the post too wide open. So in the end, this turned out to be a really, really good play for me, even if this guy wasn't open, because I would have had one of these guys open as well. As you can see, I have no idea what to do. I just tap the button again, and I'm able to complete it downfield. But so that is my analysis of the Seattle Seahawks Madden 20 Club Championship. Obviously, my guy Matt there spent a ton of time helping me prepare the night before. Super excited to be able to win this club. Obviously, I am a big Seattle Seahawks fan. But with that being said, this is going to be the end of the video. It is a pretty lengthy video. I know this is going to be a lot for you guys to get through. But I really wanted to break down what a coaching session looked for you guys, how I critique myself, and what my mind can bring to your Madden game. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support we're getting right now on Ace Madden. The support really has been insane from you guys. Obviously, make sure to check out all of us that stream. Me, J-Wall, Fancy, and Civil. We all stream on a really consistent basis. We'll put our links for our Twitch down in the description. Make sure to check us out. We typically do stream later in the day as well. We're also, Civil can't compete in FNFs due to the fact he has work, but me, Fancy, J-Wall are always in FNFs. We're always competing. Fancy has won 2 FNFs this past month, so we can't thank you guys enough for your support that Ace Madden is getting right now. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time.